Hey, what's up people? Tony here, and welcome back to another episode of TTBurger Game Reviews. This is episode 124, part 2 of 4 of my Red Faction series review. For those of you who missed what happened in episode 124, part 1 of 4, I got you covered here with something called a little TTBurger recap to show you all what you missed, where I took a look at the original Red Faction for the PlayStation 2 and gave it a 9 out of 10 because of the stealth missions not being very good and being very frustrating, and that there was no autosave feature where if you didn't save at all or didn't manually save often, you'd go back to the beginning of the game or back to the last time you saved and stuff. And it was those parts were frustrating, but still, it's a fantastic game. I definitely recommend you all to check out, definitely. Now for episode 124, part 2 of 4, we're going to be looking at the sequel to the original Red Faction, and we got it right here. This is Red Faction 2 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, Nintendo GameCube, and PC. And this is going to be a response to GmanLives review on the game as well, because he and I both agree on this game definitely and stuff, like have some very similar agreements on what we think about this game, so just wanted to point that out there. Now, what is my opinion on Red Faction 2? Red Faction 2 is a big step backwards from the original game. It feels more like a side story or an expansion than a true sequel, which is a shame because the original Red Faction is one of my favorite games of all time and stuff, and to see how this game turned out, you gotta wonder what happened here. I mean, what happened, where did all the love and care go and stuff from the original Red Faction? Well, you'll find out. First off, the story. The story has nothing to do with the original Red Faction at all. None of the characters like Parker or Eos or any of them aren't even in this game. There's no Ultor. You're not even on Mars in this game. This game takes place on Earth, and it feels very generic as well with the story and stuff. And Red Faction 2 here puts you in the role of Alias, who is some demolition expert who's working for this special forces team for a guy named Victor Soapbot, who betrays you after the first mission. And after that, you join the Red Faction to kill Victor Soapbot and stuff, and more happens and stuff, and that's what the story is. I don't really want to say much about the story because the story is pretty much a waste. The story is very weak and not memorable at all, and it's probably one of the worst storylines ever for a video game sequel ever made. And like, wow, we go from being a miner and trying to stop Ultor surviving and stuff like that, and trying to figure out what was the cause of the plague and stuff, to this generic pile of shit, which is just like, oh, we take out this guy and stuff, that we're Red Faction stuff, we're gonna do that and stuff, and shit. I don't even know what happened here. I mean, hell if I know what happened. So if anyone knows what happened, I really don't know. For the presentation here, the game looks awful. The game looks very bland and generic, nowhere near as good and creative as the first game. In fact, the game's graphics look worse than its predecessor. I mean, character models look like crap, don't even animate well at all, and the mouths move like sock puppets or so like that, and they just look awful. Like, and their faces look all smushed together like roadkill. The environments look drab, dark, and boring looking, and they look really lifeless compared to the first game's environments, where it's like dark mines and stuff like that, and like you're on like the Mars environment and stuff. Here it just looks generic looking and stuff. It just looks like something that belongs in other generic games and stuff. The gun models look good. I mean, like the gun models do look good, and the CG cutscenes look great, but it's not enough to save the presentation, though, is the thing. Now we gotta talk about the sound here, and oh boy, what is there to say about the sound? Well, bland music that is very forgettable, nowhere near as good as the original Red Faction soundtrack that had that atmospheric music and stuff that made you feel like you were on Mars trying to survive and stuff. And you got weak phoned-in voice setting where the actors sounded like they couldn't be more bored to be there, and or sometimes like they sound like they're trying way too hard to emulate like the characters and stuff. I mean, sure, you got the gun sound effects and explosions sound okay, but that's pretty much all I can say about the sound there. But now, we're going to get into the worst part of the game, the gameplay. And this is the main part that takes a big step backwards. First off, I'll talk about the goods here. Like, you can dual wield weapons in this game, something you cannot do in the original Red Faction. And it's really cool, because I like first-person shooters where you can dual wield weapons and stuff. And definitely like how Time Splitters games were and stuff like that. And I like games where you can dual wield weapons, because it's fun. And you also have some fun vehicles to pilot here again as well, like in armored mechs like that, where you can just go and destroy stuff. And these are fun, but unfortunately, those are all the goods for the gameplay here. Now for the bads. Remember how challenging the original Red Faction was? Well, here there's barely any challenge here at all, aside from like some boss fights here and stuff. the game is very easy and very short. You can pretty much beat this game in about 3 or 4 hours and so. And after that, you can check out some multiplayer modes here and stuff. But after that, though, there's nothing to do in this game at all and stuff. Sure, you have multiple endings where you can how you get your heroic meter up and stuff. But good luck with trying to get your heroic meter up and get the best ending and stuff, because it's really, really hard. I mean, I still don't even know how to get my heroic meter up and stuff. But it just really would have helped more if more care and effort went into this and stuff. And also, the enemy AI doesn't put up much of a fight at all and stuff. In fact, even the weakest weapons can kill them easily and stuff. And even when they do put up a fight, there's so many health items and stuff, and respawning health items and respawning ammo, which kind of takes the challenge out of the game. The Geomon engine is here once again, where you can pretty much destroy parts of the environment, but here it feels very shallow, and you feel like you can't really destroy much at all and stuff, because sure, it was fun to like create shortcuts and stuff like that, but here all you're doing is just destroying stuff like open doors and stuff. That's basically all it is. And with a sequel, they could have done much more here with this. And the worst part of Red Faction 2 is that it doesn't feel like a Red Faction game at all. It feels like a game from another series where they just took the game and just slapped Red Faction name on it and called it a day. And it just really shows here that it pretty much has nothing to do with Red Faction at all and stuff. And in the end, you got a very boring game that has nothing to do with Red Faction at all. And if people like Red Faction and stuff and want to give this game a try, go ahead, but be warned, you'll be disappointed. This game has nothing to do with Red Faction at all, and a lot of the fun factors not even there. And aside from that, though, there really is much else to say about this game here. I mean, it's really boring and has nothing to do with original Red Faction at all and stuff like that. It isn't worth adding to your collection of games stuff like that and stuff. Even if you were fans of the original Red Faction, I definitely do not recommend you guys check this game out at all, because it's not worth adding in your collection stuff, because it's just not worth it. I mean, even if you want to play it, you're not gonna be satisfied with it at all and stuff. And I gotta give credit to GmanLives once again, because he did a great job showing how bad this game is, stuff like that. Because when I played the game myself and got it, I was disappointed too and stuff. So GmanLives, great job on your review. In fact, I'm gonna post a link to his review in the description here. So check out his review if you can, because he goes into some valid points there definitely. So my final thoughts are, I don't really recommend playing this game. I know there are some people who like it and stuff, but still, I was one of the people who didn't like it, and I definitely do not recommend having this game in your collection of PS2 games and stuff, or for Red Faction games and stuff, because it has nothing to do with Red Faction. There's no Ultor, no Parker, no EOS, no miners or anything like that, no Plague. It just isn't really worth having in your collection and stuff. But that's just me though, and my rating here goes like this. Due to the complaints I have of this game, like the story, the graphics, and everything and stuff, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 10, because it's basically the best I've given, because it does have some goods, but it's basically overshadowed by all the bads there and stuff. So that's basically what I can give it. And that's pretty much it for this review here of episode 124, part 2 of 4. Stay tuned for episode 124, part 3 of 4. We're going to look at the first Red Faction game on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and stuff. We're going to look at Red Faction Guerrilla, which pretty much decides to not be a first-person shooter and decides to be like an open-world sandbox action game and stuff. Now, how does this type of gameplay play out for the Red Faction series? Well, find out, because I'm not going to spoil in here, because this is the part 2. But find out in episode 124, part 3 of 4, and take a look at Red Faction Guerrilla. That's pretty much all I gotta say. This is Tony. Peace now, and have a great day, and see you all in the next episode.